I felt like she was just bad. Done. Let's go! Yo, what's up, Geek Gang? This is Lane from Geek by Heart coming at you with another reaction to episode 5, Last of Us. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the episode. Let's go! All right, first for the good. So, first off, now I see kind of what they did with episode 4. I still stand on a lot of what I said about episode 4. But again, I see it. Here's the thing. I feel like you almost could have had nothing of episode 4, had just episode 5, and it would have been fine. Because to me, episode 5 was so much more stronger. Okay? And here's some of the reasons. First, Joel and Ellie, I feel, are starting to bond. Yes, they were starting to bond before, but I feel like he's starting to see her at least as a person and not as cargo. And it goes so much for the finale, which we are still far from, but again, at least it's coming authentically, and I love to see it. We got Sam and Henry, and we got more than we bargained for. So having that little extra layer of Sam being deaf, Sam being sick, and Henry having to sell out people that he respected and loved just to help out his dying brother. It really puts you in the, what would you do if you were in that scenario? And I think that's where we had The Last of Us at its best, whether it be the game or especially now the adaptation. It gives you a lot of horrible moments that even if they are really horrific, it still makes you stop to be like, would I do that? No, I would not do that. That's horrible. Or I can understand. But it gives you pause to be like, shit, would I do that? And that is just great storytelling. The tunnel scene, that tunnel scene was done so well for just two things. First, and obvious, the tunnel scene and the way it looks is straight from the game. Okay? Where you had that like refugee place in the tunnels, straight from the game. The fact that it feels so cheery, so uplifting and hopeful. And yet our characters are talking about the things that they're talking about. That juxtaposition, okay, between what you're seeing and what you're hearing. It makes you so uneasy because it makes your eyes happy, but it makes your mind like, what the fuck? He's now talking about, again, going back to what I was talking about, Sam being sick and why he's a collaborator. But yet you're also seeing even the background, the kids playing. But then it brings you again to their conversation. But then if you're looking at the scenery is like, yo, this, I could hide out here. You know what I mean? If we got like groups of people, all right, we can hide out here. We can make it. And it all coming together and watching it, again, it's just such great storytelling that immerses you in the environment. Yes. All right. So the bad. Kathleen. I'm actually going to mention her in the bad and the ugly. But here's the bad. I wish she was a little bit layered. I felt like the game gives you bad people, but also gives you, even if you wouldn't do it, it gives you a sense, like I said before, but would I know? Like, I know I wouldn't eat someone, but if I were in that predicament, would I know? You feel me? I felt like she was just bad. Done. And I know you need that sometimes, but because I feel like The Last of Us gives us a little bit more nuance even in our villains, she didn't have any at all. And you saw that especially when she was not even saying how she was going to kill Ellie because Ellie was associated with Joel who killed Brian. or she's gonna kill Sam because Sam is associated with Henry. But that monologue afterwards, you know what I'm saying? How she's like, well, kids die and this, that, like, ma'am, really? That's how you feel? No. I wish she was a little bit more layered. You know what I mean? At that point, I mean, I was done with her before, but at that point I was like, oh, I am so done with you. And I'm so glad that kid clicker got to her. So glad. I know that it was poetic justice. I know that's probably how they did it. But again, the payoff for that, all right. I am so glad that y'all gave us that payoff. All right. So I feel like that was kind of it for the bad of the episode. Let's go to the ugly. All right, now that we see both of those episodes, I kind of hinted on it when I talked about it in episode 4. Melanie Lansky is not right for this role, okay? I am not hating on the fact that you have a female leader that could be ruthless. Not hating on it at all. I don't think that she was the right actress for it, okay? There was nothing menacing about her, from her voice to the way that she stood, to the way that she, I guess commanded people around. For me, it felt very much, now seeing both episodes combined, it felt like she was trying to be Dolores Umbridge, okay? If you know from Harry Potter, she perfected the passive aggressiveness of the sweet and then the sassy and then the fucked up bitchery all in one, okay? And it felt like she tried to bring that, especially when she was talking to the collaborators at the beginning of the episode. Like, I was just like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Seeing even her backstory about how her and her brother were in her room and she was talking about that, it was supposed to, I guess, bring you in and make you convinced of her as a person. And I don't know. I think that part of the episode was maybe the only part that stand alone she was okay in. But again, bringing it all together, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it at all.
Oh God, please, no!
And my fan casting of Kathleen, it should have been Annie Wershing. Okay, and if I'm saying her name wrong, I apologize for her last name. But for those who know her, you know her in Vampire Diaries. You especially know her in 24. She was Renee Walker, okay? And if you know, Lord, she could bring authority, control, and humbleness all in the same sentence. You know what I mean? Like, if you saw her, to me, she would have been a perfect Kathleen, okay? And not only that, she was the voice actor of Tess. So you're bringing back voice actors to do other things. Why not bring her, okay? Maybe they did, I don't know. Or maybe they would have thought so, I don't know. Because unfortunately she died. She actually died, God rest her soul, about 2 weeks ago, January 29th, of cancer. Okay, so, shout out to her. But, if she could have, she would have been a perfect Kathleen. I would have bought that. She would have sold it. And then it would have made sense to put Jeffrey Pierce as her lieutenant. Because they would have, seeing those two together, you would have been scared shitless. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Okay? If not, then just leave Jeffrey Pierce and he should have been the person to be in charge. If not, okay? But putting Melanie Lansky, I would not have done that. And I think that was such a missed opportunity to cast somebody else. And again, if they could have, Annie Wershing would have been the person to cast. I also think, and this is now fan theory for me, not theory I should say, but fan wanting for me, and obviously it's not gonna happen, that I was hoping that Sam and Henry was gonna get a different conclusion. Okay, I know that writing it, they would not know, okay, that The Last of Us would get a season 2, so I get that, right? But I wanted them to take a risk. Let them live. Even if now, because you're gonna have a season 2, but you write to hope to have a season 2. You write to hope to have a season 2, get a season 2, and then bring them back, even if you kill them in the same exact way. Give us something. Give us something. to actually be hopeful about. That would have been it. That would have been a great chance to give us something to be hopeful about. Because, again, now here's a spoiler, so you may want to go way ahead. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, again, if you know about the game, the way that the game ends, and I'm sure they're probably going to adapt it like this at this point. So the way the game ends, I mean, it ends happy for Joel, I guess. But is it really a happy ending? Right? Give us something that gives us like, yo, somebody's gonna be happy. And it could have been in Sam and Henry. That is all I'm saying. Unfortunately, it did not happen. And maybe it's gonna happen with Tommy and his significant other. I mean, we will see. All right, so that was my good, bad, and the ugly of episode 5. I am just so glad that it's back on form. It is back on form. And again, episode 4 wasn't the worst thing in the world, okay? If we didn't have such great episodes in 1, 2, and 3, I think episode 4 would have been absolutely fine. And I think even with that being said, we would have been like, all right, this is what's up. You know what I mean? But because episode 1, 2, and 3 was so strong, we were like, but episode 5 is back, all right? And they gave it to us. And now we about to get shit deep. Oh my God. Because it's about to be the back half of the season. And if you feel like you have been on an emotional roller coaster, you ain't seen shit yet. Comment below. What did you think about this episode? Did you think it was better than the 4th? Did you think the 4th was better than the 5th? Whatever. Did you like Kathleen? Did you not like Kathleen? I would love to see those comments. All right. If you like what you saw, you already know. Like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. I am Lainey. This is Geek by Heart, and we will see you when we see you